To the CBTF USPL, America's newest and most entertaining cricket league. For a community-first, grassroots-driven movement with tech-assisted scalability. From real life to NTFs to the metaverse, a complete 360-degree approach when it comes to cricket. We're here at the SUNY Purchase Fields in New York. And I want to thank our associate sponsors, MTR, and especially our principal sponsor, CBTF, the fastest news in the world. Today's match will be against the Pennsylvania Cavaliers versus the Maryland Mavericks. And I want to introduce our commentary team, Leonard Archibald and Nikhil Uttamchandi. Back to you guys at the comm box.
Has been tossed the ball, so things are about to start. This is game number 2 for the day. But Nikhil, we've seen a rained out game. And here is Jesse Singh, runs into ball to Katwaru. Katwaru will have to wait and see, gets off the mark, or, well, in fact, a leg by is a signal from umpire Irfan. And so things are on the way here with one without loss. Welcome back, Nikhil.
So today's blockbuster matchup, the Cavaliers up against the Mavericks. Jesse Singh, with a lot of experience, would have just seen him in that Houston Challenge representing the United States. We'll have a mean challenge though of bowling to Ryan Scott. Really strikes it powerfully.
Yes, Nikhil, and we made a point during the course of the earlier broadcast that players will be hoping that they could get back into reckoning with the U.S. national team. One of those players is Jesse Singh. He was certainly found favor not with the selectors, but he runs in now to bowl to Ryan Scott, quality batsman. And Scott gets a very good delivery and just plays it out towards the offside, and there is no run. So a good start here from Jesse Singh, couple of balls with just one run on the board.
Yeah, it has to be very consistent bowling to Ryan Scott, especially at this venue. I've seen that man play some serious innings over time, including that 111 in Houston last year against the Hurricanes. What a ferocious knock that was to witness in person.
So playing a miss here from Jesse Singh. His bowling spell has started extremely well. We've only seen one leg by, and that came off the pad of Stephen Katwaru, a player who has had some bit of CPL experience. And so this is a quality matchup between Jesse Singh and the likes of Ryan Scott and Katwaru. So Penn Cavaliers taking on Maryland Mavericks. And if you're wondering why the game is reduced to 15 overs aside, it's because we've had 4 hours of no cricket this morning. Oh, comes down the track, gets a good slice and runs away. And is gone for a maximum. Ryan Scott on the charge.
Well, that's the man you don't want to get away if you are the Mavericks, because he can turn the game, take this game any way he wants. And after a quiet start, finally picks up his first maximum. It was always a matter of time.
So Ryan Scott for 6. Faced 3 balls, and Jesse Singh all of a sudden has gone for 7 in this over so far. He comes off his long run. He's a quality fast bowler, Jesse Singh. His cricket has really improved in the last few years. Gets not a good delivery as Ryan Scott, but gets a single out towards the offside and brings Stephen Katwaru, a known wicketkeeper in the Caribbean, Nikhil, as he comes back into strike. Jesse Singh has gone for 8 in the over so far. So Penn Cavaliers taking on Maryland Mavericks. And this is another quality matchup here in the US Premier League. Good crowd watching this game. Ball taken on the pad, so good bowling here from Jesse Singh to Stephen Ketwaru, and that will complete over number 1. And after 1, Penn Cavaliers having been sent in, they're batting at 8 for no loss. So nothing going through now right now?
I'll keep an eye out for it.
So 8 for no loss. And you're watching the second game of the day. A game slated for 15 overs aside. And already we have seen a good looking shot from Ryan Scott off the bowling of Jesse Singh. And things are on the way here. Cavaliers haven't been sent in. And they're batting 8 for no loss. Ryan Scott will be on strike. So pace again to back up Jesse Singh. So it appears to be Vineet Sinha. So Vineet Sinha has been given the ball, and he will come into bowl to Ryan Scott. It's 8 on the board. Oh, through the offside, pierces the offside field, and it runs away in front of the come box. Ryan Scott on the charge again, this time 4. It's 12 for no loss.
Had you ducking for cover, Lenny. That shot, but yes, Ryan Scott again, able to find the boundary inside the power play. Crucial innings, crucial not crucial runs for him.
So quick start here from the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. They're off to 12 in just the second over. Vineet Sinha is the bowler. We saw an over from Jesse Singh. Interpret however you want. Would have gone for 7. Some will say it's a quality over. Some will say, well, one of the scoring shot in that over has gone for 6 off the bat of Ryan Scott. So a lot of field changes happening out in the field. Kunal Baride, the captain, and the Mavericks choosing to bowl first. Playing a miss here from Ryan Scott, taking on the pad, and the ball goes out towards the offside. So 12 for no loss. We're in over number 2, and you're watching USPL cricket coming to you from Purchase College Ground out in Westchester County in the village of Harrison.
Yeah, they want to break this partnership early. Don't want to let it develop. Another 15 over encounter, of course. They're appealing for the catch, but clearly bounced.
Yeah, testing Ron McFarlane. The umpires for this match is Ron McFarlane and Irfan Tula, or better known as Irfan, from the New York area. In fact, all the umpires in this tournament comes from the New York area. Ron McFarlane, the standing umpire at the moment. Oh, it's lofted in the air. Good fall in no man's land. And they'll come back for a couple of runs, but not in control is Ryan Scott. And lucky for him, Nikhil, nobody was around that area. Take a look at that. Falls in no man's land just in front of Jesse Singh. And they come back for a couple of runs.
You have to be very careful, Ryan Scott, because whilst he will want to score quickly, he's very important. Much like the Umuk Chan in the first game for the Titans, he will be the heart and soul of this batting lineup.
So 6 in the over so far. Vineet Sinha. Oh, that's a quality ball, but they're going to squeeze a single out of this one. And good running here from Ketwaru. And in the end, look at that. 15 on the board. So good facility here at the Purchase College Ground. A lot of work has gone into this tournament. You look around at the outskirts of certainly the outfield. It's been decorated with things that you'll see at major cricket grounds. We saw boundary rope covered by some placards, and we've seen fluttering flags that add some bit of festivity to this ground. So that's the completion of the second over. And after 2 Penn Cavaliers having been sent in, they're batting at 15 without loss.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtspnews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtspnews.com and stay ahead।
So Jesse Singh will continue. First over went for 7. And will come into bowl to Ryan Scott. Scott, as you can see on your screen, he's 14 off 9 balls.
And Jesse Singh, I think that's why he's been given a second over, to try and prize a wicket and break this opening partnership. This too will carry the bulk of the weight in terms of the run scoring for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. Comes from a long run up past the 30-yard circle, Jesse Singh.
So he comes into bowl to Ryan Scott. Scott will attempt a quick single here in the end. Another addition to the score. We saw in the previous over, Ryan Scott already taking Jesse Singh over the ropes. And so Stephen Ketwaru, who's been there from the start, yet to get off the mark, so he has used up 3 balls so far. And so far the principal scorer has been Ryan Scott. He's up to 15, but we're watching Jesse Singh runs into bowl to Ketwaru. And Ketwaru gets a very good delivery, trying to play through the offside. And the ball goes through to the keeper. 16 for no loss.
Yeah, hasn't been able to get off the mark yet. Ketwaru has been brought in for his run scoring ability. A lot of experience at the first class level for both Trinidad and Guyana.
So Jesse Singh off a very long run, as you mentioned, Nikhil, and he runs into bowl the Ketwaru through the ground, straight down the ground, and that's a lovely shot from Ketwaru, and it goes all the way for 4.
Well, finally opening up, Stephen Ketwaru able to get off the mark. It was a really good option for Ketwaru in terms of run scoring, to go straight back over the bowler's head. With both mid-on and mid-off up in the circle, he knew once he got enough bat on it, it would be 4.
So a good comeback delivery here from Jesse Singh. And we were making the point, Stephen Ketwaru, up until that 4, was beginning to struggle to really get bat on ball. And in fact, when you look at what has happened, it's Ryan Scott who's been doing all the scoring, so a welcome boundary for him. And Jesse Singh, 2 tidy over so far. This one has gone for 5 with just a couple of balls remaining. It's 20 without loss. Still off to a good start is the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. And this is a 15 overs a side game. Oh, he comes down the track and pulls this one into the onside, and it goes away for a 4. 1 bounce 4. Good looking shot from Ketwaru.
Well, this was the over. This was the over for Stephen Ketwaru, where he really is able to open up, taking a liking to pace on the ball, much easier to hit. And in the end, 16 runs conceded off his 1.5 overs. Been on the expensive side. You want your more experienced options in terms of bowlers to come in and take wickets.
Yeah, Jesse Singh has gone for quite a few, 9 in this over. This one is full into the offside. That's a good looking shot from Ketwaru. That will complete over number 3. And after 3, Cavaliers haven't been sent in. They're batting at 25 without loss.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtspnews.com यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज टीम अपडेट्स स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते
So Raymond Ramratan has been given the ball. He comes in here with Cavaliers going at 8.3 runs and over. After 3 overs, they're batting at 25 without loss. You can see that on your screen. Ryan Scott and Stephen Ketwaru out in the middle. Ryan Scott, we have seen glimpses of how good he is by a couple of big shots already. And now Stephen Ketwaru will face up to the right arm leg spinner Raymond Ramratan.
Yeah, I've been very impressed by Ramratan in watching him in the minor league for the Stallions. You would have seen a lot of him, Lenny. 18 wickets at an average of 15.39. That's what was the most impressive thing to me. Also keeps the economy rate to under 7 and over. Where he's bowling in the power play and to Ryan Scott. If he can do that, it's a huge win for this the Mavericks.
Yeah, Raymond Ramratan, he's a quality bowler, Nikhil. Might have been pushed out by Yasir Mohammed, who has made his ODI debut just about a week or so ago, but he's a quality spinner. Raymond Ramratan, he could bat. Yeah, and would have factored quite importantly into the lineup of the New Jersey Stallions. Could pick up a couple of runs here is Ryan Scott. They're running quickly. The throw comes in. Not a good one. And Ryan Scott makes it home. But not one of the best throws.
I can tell you, had the throw been on point, Ryan Scott would have been a long way short. It's not what you want for such an important player. You can't afford to take those risks, I don't think. The Cavaliers, yes, they'll bat their batting lineup, but still, so early, just the 4th over. To take a risk like that could be very costly.
So Ryan Scott with a couple of hundred last year in minor league. A man who just in the process of the minor league series would have made him one of the newest T20 international player. He played against Ireland and has carved a name for himself on the T20 circuit. He's here, and so far he's looked good. Raymond Ramratan, we were talking about matchups, and this one a full toss. Should have done a little bit more with that one, Nikhil. Might have missed out on an opportunity for a maximum. Yeah. Full toss.
You not have expected it. Didn't get it off the middle of the bat by any means, Ryan Scott. So big let off for the Mavericks. Good to see a decent crowd in and around the Sunny Purchase venue. Good to see people, young children in attendance, watching the game.
Yes, Nikhil, by local standard, not too many people watch local cricket at times, but this one, I'm pretty sure, has brought out the crowd. A ball that is driven straight back to Raymond Ramratan. He does well to keep the ball in play, preventing any run. But I'm pretty sure as the tournament goes on towards the weekend, we could see a little bit more better turnout. And so 4 overs gone. Penn Cavaliers haven't been sent in. They're batting at 29 without loss. So we're back with the cricket. Second game of the day. We saw earlier on an impressive victory from the Florida Sharks. They got the better of the New Jersey Titans in very convincing fashion, Nikhil. A game certainly dominated by Goranshu Sharma and Raj Nanan, chasing 106. And so a very good start to their campaign of the US Premier League.
Yeah, this opening partnership, very crucial for the Cavaliers. Ryan Scott, Stephen Catwaro, both got off to good starts. Probably on the quieter side when you think about the power that they both possess. But the main thing that we saw so important in the first game, they've still got 10 wickets intact. That man on screen has got all the importance on his shoulders, the captain, Ryan Scott. Can he produce one of those scintillating innings that we're used to seeing him produce in the minor league?
So Gaurav Rana has been given the ball, runs into bowl to Scott. And Scott gets a ball down the leg side. And it might have been surprised, not called a wide, but umpire Irfan seemed to suggest that the ball would have touched something on its way through to Kapil Khanna, the keeper. And so Ryan Scott remains on 18. It's 29 for no loss. And they're going just about 7 runs and over. You're watching Gaurav Rana. And that's a good ball. Any ball in a 15-over game that is not being scored on, Nikhil, can be considered very good bowling. And so far, we've seen a couple of dot balls here from Gaurav Rana. He's made a very good start to his bowling spell.
Yeah, it will be key to see how he closes it up. But very good power play. Even though, yes, they haven't taken any wickets, to keep this team to under 7 and over with the 2 at the crease. A lot to be happy about for the Maryland Mavericks, but they have to finish these remaining 4 deliveries inside the power play.
Flicked into the onside, and that has gone all the way into the parking lot. Again, off the bat, Ryan Scott is 35 without loss.
A really good shot from Scott. It was just too full from Rana, and that's why I mentioned the importance of finishing the innings well.
And you get the feeling, Nikhil, because of the smaller size of the boundary straight down the ground. This is where the batsman will want to play in the V. They will want to hit straight. Good encouragement to play straight on a tournament like this, on this ground, where the straight boundary is a little shorter than the square ones. And that shot there we saw quite a few also from Goranshu Sharma and Raj Nanan. And now we're beginning to see Ryan Scott targeting those areas. This is sensible batting.
Yeah, you want to get him out though. You don't want to allow him to spend too much time at the crease. The longer he spends, the more that rate increases, the more worry for the Mavericks. Yes, they've got a long batting lineup, they've got power, but you still want to dismiss Ryan Scott. Get the danger man out and then begin to eat into this Cavaliers batting lineup.
So better ball from Gaurav Rana. And Nikhil, batsman like Ryan Scott, being aggressive in nature, 15 overs game, do they give you a lot more chances than some other batsmen?
Yeah, for sure, but a player of Scott's ability in a tournament like this, on this ground, definitely will back himself to clear the ropes and also get his team off to a good start.
Good shortish delivery here from Rana. Was steered away nicely for a couple of runs. Ryan Scott continues to look like a batsman in form. Shots all around the ground, the big ones, the delicate nudges for runs. And he continues to be a man like in form. They're off to a good start, 37 on the board. They're essentially going over 7.6 at the moment.
Should just be 1. It is just going to be 1. So ends the power play. And I think both teams will be relatively happy. The Cavaliers haven't lost a wicket, but the Mavericks have kept them to just under 8 runs and over. 38 for none.
So at the end of 5 is 38 without loss. And you're watching the Penn Cavaliers and Maryland Mavericks locked in a battle here. Teams captained by Kunal Baride. And Ryan Scott, of course, out in the middle along with Stephen Ketwaru. Ramratan will continue. Very quality first over that only gave away 4 runs, so he will come into bowl to Ryan Scott. Oh, short and hammered into the offside. And that has gone all the way off the bat of Ryan Scott for another 6.
Well, the power of Ryan Scott on display at the moment here at Sunny Purchase. Another maximum for him. And now he's really upping the ante. Worry setting in for the Mavericks.
Yeah, he's not gonna allow short balls to go begging. And he's certainly latched onto that one. That's a lovely shot for 6. No elevation this time. And you get the feeling the likes of Raymond Ramratan Nikel is under pressure bowling to left-hander. We made mention of the matchups between bowlers and batsmen in this tournament. And that brings Stephen Ketwaru back onto strike, a man who comes out of Trinidad and Tobago. Would have been part of the Trinidad and Tobago regional squad. He's a wicket keeper. And also would have played for the West Indies at the junior level. Might have been 2012, around that area. He's the keeper of the squad. He can bat a bit. And so far, 45 on the board. So a quality comeback deliveries here from Raymond Ramratan. And you get the feeling that even if Raymond Ramratan errs against this right-hander, he might be spared, but not really, as this one comes around. Fielder comes around. Oh, he doesn't save the ball. And in the end, the ball trickles away for 4. A valiant attempt by 2 of the fielders out in the deep, but in the end, ball goes away for 4.
Yeah, wet, slippery conditions. And unfortunately, Matthew Comrie, who's usually a good fielder at that tough mid-wicket position, can't stop the boundary. Kataru really opening up now.
So that brings up the 50 here for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. And after 6 over, they're batting at 50 without loss.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtspnews.com यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज टीम अपडेट्स स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ ताकि मैच को
So Gaurav Rana, 50 for no loss. First over would have gone for 9, so he makes a good start in his second over. Can't score is Ketwaru, but they're off to a very good start, going over 8 runs and over. Both Ryan Scott and Stephen Ketwaru has given them something to build on. Oh, glanced into the onside, and that has gone all the way for 6. This time Stephen Ketwaru. 56 without loss.
Yeah, not great bowling from the Maryland Mavericks. Full toss, Kataru could have done anything with it. He's that type of player, very innovative. Not the most powerful by any means, so he uses more of timing and innovation to score his runs.
Yeah, they're off to a very quick start, going at almost 9 runs and over. So a bit of windy conditions here, cool breeze blowing across the ground. We're just about after 3 o'clock in the afternoon here in Westchester County, New York. And we're watching Gaurav Rana will come into bowl to Stephen Ketwaru, with the Penn Cavaliers off to a very good start.
Run out chance again. Ryan Scott. Had they hit, he would have been gone. That's the second time. Big let off for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. To lose Scott now via run out. Problematic.
So Ryan Scott, 3 sixes and 1 4 so far. In fact, all the bowlers, none of them were really spared. We saw sixes of Jesse Singh. We saw 6 of Raymond Ramratan. We would have also seen a 6 of Gaurav Rana in the air, into the onside, over mid-wicket. It's gone all the way, hit the road, and gone further away this time again off the bat of Ryan Scott.
But it's why you have to take your chances. Couple of run-out chances to get Ryan Scott out. They haven't done that, and instead he's made them pay. Man, with serious power. It's been one to watch as we come into this tournament. What a way to start so far.
Yeah, this over's gone for 13 so far. We've seen a couple of sixes. We saw a wayward ball going down the leg side off the bat of Stephen Ketwaru. And now we saw one that was short off the bowling of Gaurav Rana. And quickly Ryan Scott goes up to 40.
Yeah, many people didn't know the name Ryan Scott before last year's minor league season. When you're able to strike at 181 across 14 innings, tells you all you need to know about a player. You have to know his name after that. Tremendous season for the Michigan team in the minor league.
Yes, Nikhil, you're right on that. But he would have played in a tournament in New York last July 4th called the New York World Series. And in that tournament, we saw a spark of what Ryan Scott can do or what he is. 7 gone, 63 without loss, with both Ryan Scott and Stephen Ketwaru giving Penn Cavaliers a very solid start.
So already going at 9 runs and over. This Cavaliers team flying at the moment. Need a wicket. And they're going to go to leg spin. Matthew Comery. So interesting given the Ramratan experiment. Could say worked in the sense. Just 16 runs conceded from the 2 overs.
So Matthew Comery comes out of one of the Florida franchise in last year's minor league. Not too sure where he's going back this year, Nikhil. But with some bit of minor league experience, swept into the onside. They could pick up a couple of runs. In fact, Dwayne Smith runs back. So only a single here to Ketwaru and brings the hard-hitting, quick scoring Ryan Scott back on strike. He's up to 40.
Yeah, very interesting matchup now. Scott against Comery. Just sense somebody's going to give. I don't think Ryan Scott will hold back, but it does bring you in the game for a wicket. Very small margin of error for the leg spinner. If he goes too full, Ryan Scott don't think will be too bothered by those 2 fielders.
So punched through the offside, over extra cover, and that has gone all the way. Ryan Scott with another 6.
Well, we just mentioned it, the matchup. Just mentioned the importance of not missing your length, and unfortunately just too short, too wide. Ryan Scott, the way he struck it, he's not going to miss it on that. What a start this is.
So 5 sixes so far to Ryan Scott, 5 sixes and 1 4. And here is Comery to Scott. And Scott goes again, big, straight down the ground, into the trees and into the parking lot. He has brought up his 50 in quick time, in just 25 balls, 50 for Ryan Scott.
Tremendous innings, tremendous start to the tournament by the captain. Really powerful knock, showing exactly why he's such a force to be reckoned with across the various tournaments in this country.
And the fact is, Nikhil, we are just in the 8th over, and you get a feeling if Ryan Scott is not shown the hut, or if he's not sent back here, It could be a long match here for the Maryland Mavericks. They're struggling here to contain Ryan Scott. He's up to 50 already. And a better ball here from Matthew Comery, but I wonder if enough damage has already been done with 13 runs in this over.
Yeah, much quicker through the air, Matthew Comery. Just trying to get out of the over now without conceding another maximum. You can see clear difference in terms of the speed that he's bowled at.
So the first 50 of the tournament comes off the bat of Ryan Scott. He's up to 52. And played into the onside. Could find the gap. It does. And it goes away for 4. Ryan Scott not satisfied with getting a 50. He's up to 56. And after 8, it's 8 without loss. So 10 runs on over. And that's the situation here of Penn Cavaliers. It's a 15 overs a side game, 42 balls still to be bowled. And Nickel, they're on course here for maybe 150, 170. But we'll have to factor in how long Ryan Scott stays out in the middle. It could get a little bit daunting here for the Maryland Mavericks.
Well, 150 and 15 overs, even with the likes of Dwayne Smith, I think that is tough. Yes, it's a small venue, but hasn't been the easiest to score on. Kataru's done well, though. Supported Ryan Scott really well. So it's going to be leg spin from both ends. Very interesting, given you have the left-handed Scott at the crease.
So Raymond Ramratan comes back for his second bowling spell. Smashed into the offside. And that has gone away for 4. This time off the bat of Stephen Ketwaru. And now he gets into the act. And 4 more runs here for the Penn Cavaliers.
Yeah, that's what happens. Just impacting each other. Enjoying batting together, these two. Helping each other. Ketwaru take a back seat last couple of overs.
Yes, Raymond Ramratan, there will be no room, no margin for error here. And as we have seen, typically from right arm leg spinner Nickel, not an easy art to control. And every over, even the best in the world will probably give you 1 or 2 loose ball per over. We've seen what Ryan Scott and to a lesser extent Stephen Ketwaru can do. 85 on the board.
Yeah, good start to the over though. They've already got 5. Want to keep scoring at above 10 runs and over to ensure they can get at least to that 150.
So ball lofted into the offside, will not carry to any of the fielder. And another single here to Ketwaru turns the strike over to, in fact, another run to Ryan Scott and pushes Stephen Ketwaru to come into strike. This over's gone for 6, considering the first ball has gone for 4. Good comeback here from Ramratan.
But it really has been Ryan Scott's day. We saw 2 chances where the Mavericks could have potentially run him out. 2. Then another 2 opportunities where he could have easily been caught. Both fell to no man in the field. So
we've seen a 50 here from Ryan Scott. We saw in the earlier game 2 batsmen getting close to a half century. Goranshu Sharma and Raj Nanan, but it was Ryan Scott who gets a 57 undefeated so far. He's batting well. And we'll wait and see how Ramratan can contain Ryan Scott. He will not into the offside this time. He loses the fielder. And umpire Irfan goes upstairs. So another 6 for Ryan Scott into the 90s, 93 without loss.
Dealing in maximums. Ryan Scott not interested in those boundaries. Able to clear it so easily. And you mentioned this small venue with those straight boundaries, always going to be danger for big hitters like this.
So ball contained by Raymond Ramratan. That concludes the 9th over. And after 9, they're going at a steady 10. It's 93 without loss.
जिंदगी में जीत उसी की होती है जिसके पास स्पीड होती है, इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So bowling change. Matthew Comrie gets a relief. And Mahesh Kesarkar comes into the attack. And this will be a difficult two players to contain. Nikhil, as Mahesh has been given the ball here, 93 without loss.
Yeah, continuously going back to spin. The Mavericks hasn't quite worked for them as yet, but clearly persisting. We saw Ramrattan, Comrie, and now Kesarkar.
So a heavy spin attack so far from the Mavericks, but so far it hasn't gone well. And we saw Jesse Singh and Vineet Sinha, the two opening fast bowler. So they have turned to 4 other spinners here to try to get a breakthrough or try to contain a rampaging Ryan Scott and Stephen Ketwaru. Ryan Scott in particular, he's gone up to 63. And while this is a 15-over game, you wouldn't be surprised that the rapid pace in which Ryan Scott bats, he could threaten 100 here this afternoon. So far he's up to 63 in just 31 balls.
Yeah, have to get him out. Have to dismiss that man. Otherwise, 150 easily on the cards. Regardless of whoever bowls, you have to remove him.
So big swing, doesn't connect. We'll have to wait and see. Could be one of the edges towards the fine leg area. Dwayne Smith, former international cricketer, runs around. So 95 on the board. They are approaching a big milestone for them in a 50-over game. Penn Cavaliers, they're up to 95 without loss. And now Ketwaru comes down, doesn't get full hold of it, and it drops in front of Jesse Singh. And he survives, and so that's a single to Stephen Ketwaru.
Well, the luck has been on their side, that's for sure, these two in the middle. How many times have we seen balls go up in the air and on the smallest of fields still not fall to any of the fielders?
Yeah, they're badly looking for a breakthrough. This over's gone pretty well for Mahesh. Only 3 runs in 4 balls. This has been relatively good. Ryan Scott, swing and a miss. Ball keeping a tad low.
Another inside edge, almost an inside edge onto the stumps.
Kapil Khanna, the keeper. Would have been quite disappointed he didn't hold on to that one. Would have been the breakthrough. Ryan Scott on 64. Final ball coming up. Kesarkar. And ball eased into the offside, realizing that perhaps that's the last ball of the over. Good way to end the over. When play resumes, Ryan Scott will be on strike. 10 overs gone, 97 without loss.
जिंदगी में जीत उसी की होती है जिसके पास स्पीड होती है, इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So just 5 overs remaining in this first innings. I have to say you'd rather be in the camp of the Penn Cavaliers at this stage. 97 for none. Platform well set, 10 wickets in hand, can easily get up to 150 from here. Probably be disappointed if they don't.
And the fact is, Nikhil also could easily be 100 here for Ryan Scott. Couple of big sixes, you never know. As Dwayne Smith has been given the ball. Dwayne Smith has done some bit of bowling at the international level. So certainly not new to bowling his medium pacers.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised we didn't see him into the attack because he's a very tricky bowler. with his changes of pace, does have a couple good variations as well.
And nothing beats the experience he would have gained playing so many T20 matches, IPL matches.
337 T20s. Insane to think about. Over his career, you mentioned the IPL, the Big Bash, PPL, all the leagues you could think about, the CPL. He really excelled. What a career, what an illustrious career for that man, Dwayne Smith.
That's in the case of the IPL. I think some 91 matches spread across 3 or 4 franchises. Mumbai Indians, team with the yellow, what is that, CSK? I think he was also with Deccan Chargers at some point. But yeah, like you said, over 300 T20 matches spread across different continents, different franchises.
Just getting back to my earlier point, I was kind of surprised to see that string of spin utilized by the Mavericks, especially when these two were striking the ball the way they were. Just thought maybe you have an option like Dwayne Smith, you bring him in. The captain though had other ideas. Let's see if it works and he gets the wicket.
So they're up to 99. Ryan Scott on double six into the offside. Could go all the way, and it will over the player's 10th. And 6 more runs to Ryan Scott. The 100 comes up in the 11th over. Ryan Scott goes up to 72. Take a look.
Well, it was just a bit predictable. Dwayne Smith with his line. 3rd time in a row he went wide outside the off stump, and Ryan Scott had the time to be able to watch it long, close, and dispatch it for 6.
So wide is a signal from umpire Irfan. And one of the things we haven't seen too many of, Nikhil, during the course of today's play, the wides, but they're beginning to come slowly. This time off the shoulder of Dwayne Smith. This over's gone for 9. And he comes down the track, doesn't time it well, could get runs, running up to the vacant offside boundary. And 4 more runs for Ryan Scott. Look at that, he's gone up to 76.
Well, he has an extra cover fielder placed on the edge of the 30-yard circle, but Ryan Scott just better on that occasion to be able to position it over that man's head and get another boundary. 76 from 38. What a knock this has been.
So he needs 24 to get to a coveted 3-figure mark. 25 balls remaining. And he guides this one in the offside. Wants that singular run because he knows when play resumes, it will be him on strike. It's 111 without loss. 11 overs gone. And that Dwayne Smith over's gone for 14.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com।
So welcome back with the news. Ryan Scott on 77 not out will be on strike. Mahesh Kesarkar will continue. First over would have gone for 4. That's a very, very quality over considering what we have seen. In fact, would have been one of the most economical overs so far in what has been a run fest here. Striking at over 10 runs and over. Nikhil with a rampaging Ryan Scott on 77 not out.
Yeah, most teams in T20 cricket, the standard protocol is scoring at 10 runs and over in the last 5. But with 10 wickets in hand, bat them to even look for more than 10. They want to get to 170, leave themselves margin for error in terms of with the ball in hand. It's a small venue, and if someone has a day like Ryan Scott is having, then things could get tricky. So you want to ensure you give yourself enough cushion. 170 is a daunting task for any team to chase, regardless of, if you can bring Chris Gayle here.
So Mahesh Kesarkar, while we have watched 111 without loss, lots of runs off the bat of Ryan Scott, he's only conceded 4 runs in 7 balls. So some credit to the leg spinner. And so far, look at that, a couple of dot balls to Ryan Scott. He's up to 77 from what, 41 balls? And he has smashed his way with 8 sixes and 3 fours so far. High in the air, Jesse Singh waits for it and takes the catch. He's always a reliable catcher. And so Ryan Scott finally falls for 77, taken out by Jesse Singh and Mahesh Kesarkar.
Well, the luck finally runs out for Ryan Scott. Good catch in the end by Jasdeep Singh. Had to watch it for a really long time, but a quality knock for Scott. He's gone for 77. 111 for 1. Finally the wicket falls for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers.
Yeah, he gets a big round of applause from his teammates. And why not? Look at that. He has posted with, he has helped them post 111 for 1 in just about the 12th over. So he's done his job. 77 on the board. Good start to the tournament, Ryan Scott. So Danish Patel comes out to the middle. But Ketwaru will be the man on strike. This tournament have not embraced the new ICC change that will certainly take official effect at the start of October. But I'm pretty sure Nikhil have gone around to some tournaments who have already put the rule in place in which the batsman does not cross during the course of a catch, as in that case. So wide is a signal from umpire Ron McFarlane. And that takes the score off 111 for 1 to 112 for 1 in the 12th over. And we were making the point of how well Mahesh Kesarkar has bowled Nikhil. Man with a golden arm, so to speak, took out Ryan Scott.
I've seen a couple of raindrops, Lenny, which I'm finding pretty surprising. Given that, I mean, the weather folk told me that, you know, after this morning we'll be pretty covered.
Well, as of last night, I'll tell you what, no one expected rain. It was never in the forecast up until yesterday. That developed during the course of last night. I was surprised or even shocked. So we're watching Kesarkar. Oh, coming down the track. Dinesh Patel gets going quite quickly. He has gone for a maximum.
Yeah, coming down the track using his feet. Patel, what a way to come to the crease though. Picking exactly where Ryan Scott would have left off with a maximum. Good shot, good stroke. And continuing the momentum. That's always the key when you lose a wicket. You don't want to lose out on momentum too much.
Well, they've got a lot of wickets in hand. Just 19 balls remaining. And at some point, you know, they would have targeted Mahesh while he's bowled well. But coming down to the last 19 ball with lots of wickets in hand, they have all the liberty to go and go hard. And Danish Patel has come out and done just that. Ball chopped into the offside, can't score this time. So that will conclude over number 12. And after 12, Pennsylvania Cavaliers are batting at 119 for 1. 18 balls remaining.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtspnews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtspnews.com and stay ahead।
119 for 1. 3 overs remain. Have to finish well. Both teams, really. A lot could be determined in these 3 overs.
So bowling change again. Vinit Sinha comes back for a second bowling spell. Had a very good first over, an over that only conceded 7, and he bowled at a time in which Ryan Scott and Ketwaru was out in the middle. Ketwaru is still there. Hasn't seen much of the strike recently. Oh, he charges the bowler. Could pick up a couple of runs here. Gaurav Sharma comes in quite quickly. And 2 more runs here for Penn Cavaliers.
Yeah, 20 list day matches for Stephen Katwaru, a man that would have played obviously for the West Indies under 19. A lot of promise in terms of his young career. He's now moved to the US and he's been in the US playing cricket.
So he comes down the track again, but can only get a single out towards the offside. And if I'm not mistaken, Nikhil, I think Stephen Ketwaru was part of the Guyana Amazon Warriors, their backup keeper, when I think Puran was there, or even Ramdin was there, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, was part of that CPL squad, so does have that bit of extra experience as well.
So Danish Patel, we saw what he can do. And batsman, as we have seen in this is the second game, Nikhil, we've seen the batsman targeting the straight area. And we know the yardage. It's a matter of mathematics. They have gone straight down the ground and to great effect. We haven't seen too many shots on the square side, which is considered the longest side of this field. Dimensions are different in every cricket ground you go around the world. And that's one of the things as a cricketer or as a batsman you'll need to learn to adapt to. The dimensions are different every different place that you go, and today is no different. Oh, the improv doesn't go too well. Katwaru would have learned that probably in the CPL circuit or watching too much IPL.
Yeah, just the one over for Dwayne Smith. Find it pretty surprising. Yes, he did get taken apart by Ryan Scott, but I think with his experience as well as his death bowling ability, may have wanted to see him at this stage of the innings. Potentially could bowl the next or the last over.
Good slow ball. Katwaru looking for 2. Let's look at the throw. Not a good one, not a strong one, not well directed at all. And they come back for a couple of runs, giving Katwaru another delivery perhaps in this over. And this over's gone for 6. So a very good one here for the Maryland Mavericks. Scoring rate just about 9.7 and over. And this is the USPL Phase 1 tournament. That's a good ball. Good ball to finish up over number 13. So 13 in the books. It's 125 for 1. The batsman out Ryan Scott for 77. 125 for 1.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtspnews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtspnews.com and stay ahead।
So Jesse Singh comes back into the attack, and quite rightly so, Nikhil. One of your top bowlers, you don't want to underbowl him. He's bowled what? He's bowled a couple over 2 for 17, but a man of the caliber of Jesse Singh, you don't want to shortchange him in this game. He comes back here.
Yeah, expect him to close out one of the most important overs of the innings, the penultimate. So you go to your best bowling option.
So it's 125 for 1. Danish Patel, we saw him making a big strike not too long ago for 6. But he hasn't received much of the strike. Jesse Singh off his long run. Runs into bowl to Patel. Oh, flies straight into the hands of Dwayne Smith. And it doesn't get easier than that. Patel gone, 125 for 2.
Yeah, safe pair of hands, Dwayne Smith under that one. Not going to make a mistake. Success finally for Jasdeep Singh. But you really can afford to take that risk at this stage of the innings, given how well they've gone about, led by Ryan Scott, of course. So Patel had no other choice as the innings narrows down.
So it's 125 for 2, 11 balls remaining. Jesse Singh bowling at 1 for 17. It doesn't matter when wickets come, Nikhil, but it will put some respectability to his bowling analysis. And so he goes into the wicket column. So new batter comes out to the middle. It's kind of tough to pick up this batsman name. He's certainly come out with something covering the only identification we would have known by his shirt. So we'll have to get that sorted out. But in the meantime, Jesse Singh has bowled a dot ball to the new man out in the middle. Kevin Shaw, thank you. So we've gotten some bit of clearance that he is Kevin Shaw. Kevin Shaw comes out of Yorkers, I think. And plays minor league last year. So here he is facing up to Jesse Singh, and Singh bowls a full one. Looking for two. I don't think they'll get two. And so a single here to Kevin Shaw gets him off the mark. 126 for 2.
Three very strong teams in this New York area in terms of the minor league. And then you've got Manhattan Yorkers, the Empire State Titans, and of course the Stallions. You're shaking your head. Tell me why.
Not the Empire State Titans this year. Cavaliers. New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers has posted a big squad again.
So are you saying that the Empire State Titans are not, after getting to the finals weekend last year, you don't have them and you're one of your strongest picks?
Well, that's one of the teams I'll be going with this year. But when you look at the squads, I think Stallions are really stacked up. They've picked some very good guys, a lot of retentions, and they picked some quality players. New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers, I want to think, and I'm gonna publicly say I think they'll have a very good year this year. I get the feeling Cavaliers will play good cricket in minor league on the Eastern Seaboard. Play and a miss here by Kevin Shaw. But yes, Yorkers have put together a good team. Gajanan Singh, Raj Nanan, couple of the boys. I think Manoj Acharya, is he over there again? But yes, anticipating some good performance from Yorkers, Somerset Cavaliers, and the team that Jesse Singh plays for, that the New Jersey Stallions. Had an outstanding season last year, went up to the last game of the tournament. So going to be tough to beat. So a couple of balls remaining, in fact 7 balls remaining. Final ball for Jesse Singh. And Kevin Shaw gets a single. They'll be looking for 2. Fielder comes around. They take on the fielder. The fielder makes mistakes, and that concludes over number 14. And after 14, Penn Cavaliers haven't been sent in. They're batting at 129 for 2.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So the final over goes to Vinit Sinha, and he's bowled 2 overs, no made none for 13, when the overall run rate has been 9.2 to this point. And will come into bowl to Katwaru, who's been there from the start. Oh, he gets a full toss, takes a little bit of evasive action, and in the end the ball goes away for 4. No ball is the signal from umpire Irfan. So no ball 4. It's 134 for 2.
There will be a free hit as well. So things going from bad to worse for the Mavericks, even when they took that wicket of Ryan Scott. Unable to pick up from that, build any sort of momentum. Last over, want to finish it pretty economically.
So here's the free hit ball. Katwaru on strike. Go through the offside. Lovely shot. Not a man move. And 4 more runs. Good effort from the free hit ball. And that has gone away for 4.
Yeah, they'll be thinking 150 if they can get it. Still some ways away, but 9 runs off the first delivery is truly some start to the final over.
Yeah, big crowd watching the game. Grounds are filled up all across the perimeter of the boundary. Being it's an enclosed facility, Nikhil, really looks very grand. But we're watching the last couple of balls here. In fact, last 5 balls into this match, into this innings. And Katwaru latches onto this one. Ramratan, he is always a reliable catcher. He comes up with a good catch. And Katwaru falls. It's 138 for 3.
Well, the most catches in the minor league season, Ramratan. He's not going to make a mistake. That one's too easy. So finally, they get the wicket of Stephen Katwaru. Maybe just a case of too little too late. But a well-played 47 for Katwaru.
So 4 balls remaining. Deep Joshi comes to the middle. And he won't be on strike. Kevin Shaw will be. I recall Kevin Shaw took a game from the Empire State Titans last year. Out of nowhere, this man on strike, Kevin Shaw, took on the likes of Nathan Stewart and company and pulled a game away from the Empire State Titans. Ball chopped into the offside. Only a single and brings Deep Joshi with 3 balls remaining. Deep Joshi.
Joshi about 2 times the size of Kevin Shaw.
So 3 balls remaining. Sinha continues, no elevation. They're running quickly. Jesse Singh attacks the ball, sends a very good throw back to Kapil Khanna, the keeper, and brings the last 2 balls to 140 for 3. So we saw in the first game, 15 overs conceded, 106 posted by the New Jersey Titans. Penn Cavaliers have now posted 140 with 2 balls remaining, so what a difference. Oh, good running. This is very good running from Joshi and Shaw. Just taking off as the ball was going through to the keeper. Good running here, Nikhil.
Yeah, good running in the end. You need that. The last ball of the innings. Just coming on to thought have a word, but that's going to be the innings completed. So it means then
took place, and skipper's knock. Pennsylvania Cavaliers skipper Ryan Scott scoring the first half century of the tournament and 77 runs. I mean, 8 sixes. Talk about that knock.
Well, for me, it was more for the team and try to get to a respectable total. And I know I had to bat as long as possible for that to happen. And at the end of the day, I'm pretty pleased with my knock, even though I wish I could have got the 100, but that's a part of the game.
Yeah, and I mean, batting out there beautiful, and especially the partnership you had with Steven as well. Talk us through that. It was over 100-run partnership. I mean, a stunning start.
So I've watched a lot of cricket, and with my experience, I know the longer the partnership is, the better the cricket is going to be in the middle. And when you have a batsman at the crease that you understand pretty well, the batting only going to get easier and easier.
And 144 on the board. So what do you think about defending this total?
Well, my par score was 130, 135, so to get 144, I would satisfy with that any day.
Well batted, and wish you the best for the second innings. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm here with Mahesh Kesarkar from the Maryland Mavericks. One, taking that breakthrough wicket. I mean, they were going at it. They had over 100 runs with that partnership without losing a wicket. So tell me about that wicket of Brian Scott.
No, I mean, we had to break the partnership, and he was hitting really well. So we had a discussion and we thought, okay, let us slow it down, vary the pace, and try to bowl in areas where he's struggling. So that's what I did. Like in the first over, he was trying to hit a couple of sixes, he could not, and then I kept bowling that same line, and eventually we got the wicket. So it was very well needed wicket at that moment because he was batting really well. So very happy about it.
Yep. I mean, it worked out, right, for the plan. And then, I see you're batted up, right? So when it comes to chasing down the 141, what do you think about this total?
Yeah, it's definitely a good total, but if they have scored 140, definitely we can also score. We saw in the first half of the inning, ball was coming really nicely on the bat, so we will try to look for that, and we should just keep the right run rate for the initial 5 overs, and I think that will define the outcome of the game. So we are very positive about it.
Perfect. Well, all the best.
Thank you so much.
So the second innings is about to start. Back to you guys at the studio.
Is that an app that you're using for the scoring? Or? Yeah, it's on app. Huh? Yeah. So welcome back to the reply. With the news, Maryland Mavericks has a big game on hand. It's 142 to win from 90 balls. Dwayne Smith out in the middle. Yes, that's the former West Indies player. Dwayne Smith out in the middle. And if ever Maryland Maverick is to get across the line of 142, Nikhil, welcome back. Dwayne Smith will have to play a key role here. He does have the ability, and he certainly can do that.
Yeah, you have to play innings similar to the one of Ryan Scott.
Smith and Bartak. So Mario Laban will be the man to start. It's a quality fast bowler, Mario. And will come into bowl to Dwayne Smith, and Smith gets a ball, tucks it into the onside, and he's off the mark and running, and so is the Maryland Mavericks. So things are on the way here. Still 141 to win from 89 balls. So this innings will have to be an explosive one from some of the batters there. They'll be hoping that Dwayne Smith, former West Indies player, give them a massive start. Probably something in close in the vicinity of what we saw Ryan Scott did. So here is Mario Laban, runs into bowl to Vartak. Vartak gets a full ball, edges it down towards the third man area. And they go through for one, so things are on the way here. Couple of runs on the board.
Yeah, Dwayne Smith will be very important to this run chase with his power. Shot. Shot.
So welcome back to the chase. 142 needed. Is down to 136 from 86 balls. We've seen a lovely shot from Dwayne Smith. And welcome back, Nikel. If there's someone here to do the job that Maryland Mavericks really need, it will be Dwayne Smith. Lovely shot for 4.
Yeah, he has to be sort of the Ryan Scott for the Maryland Mavericks because of that aggressive intent that he batted so well with. Dwayne Smith will need to do much of the same. Good start for him.
Yeah, this will be a very good contest. Mario Laban, I'm surprised that none of the franchise in the New York, New Jersey area has picked up this man. Over the last couple of years, he's really excelled. And he bowls with some bit of pace. Saw him in the APL that played into the Yogi Berra Stadium during the course of the latter part of last year's tournament. And he bowled with some bit of fire. That might have impressed quite a few people who would have seen him on that occasion. And it's no surprise that I saw that I'm seeing him in this tournament. You look at where Stephen Ketwaru stands, almost at the 30-yard circle, and that tells you the kind of pace that Mario Laban can generate. But this has been a very good over from him. So 1 gone with them needed in excess of 9.7 runs and over. The first over goes for 6. This has been a quality one from Laban.
So they have to go at just under 10 runs and over. It's a tough task throughout these 14 remaining overs. But you can't think of it as one big mountain. You've got to take it over by over. Look to get that boundary needed per over.
So Manoj Acharya becomes Mario Laban bowling partner. 2 quality opening bowlers here, and Manoj Acharya would have had a very excellent minor league last year. But this year might be going to another franchise, and with so many names and franchises information, it's hard to keep track, but I know he is left wherever he was, and he's going to another place. So 6 on the board. Vartak will be the man on strike. And it will be Manoj Acharya to begin over number 2. Still 138 needed from 84 balls. As Nikhil mentioned, 9.7, just under 10. Well, it's going to be a tough one here.
Yeah, do have 2 good seam options to start. And always different when you especially have runs on the board as well. You can have something to defend, know exactly how you can bowl, the plans, a lot clearer, more transparent for the captain. It's definitely rather be in the Cavaliers side of things at the moment, but game far from over, long way to go, still 14 and some overs left.
Yeah, you're right on that. We saw sparkling innings from Ryan Scott. He got quickly up to 77. And certainly set the tone. Eludes a diving Ketwaru, and we'll wait and see. Leg buys. That has gone for 4.
So don't want to stray too far down the leg side. Manoj Acharya won't go to his overall figures, but will affect the team in terms of the runs against.
So ball cut away here by Vartak. Will only pick up 1. And just coming back to what we've seen, Nikhil, we've seen score of 106 not holding up. Now we have seen a mammoth 142 posted by the Cavaliers, off 15. I wonder if 140, 150 will be the trend in allotted 15 overs game. I get the feeling Smith goes into the onside, just to the left of the come box, and that has gone for 6.
But that was massive from Dwayne Smith. Sent people in the crowd running for shelter. That was a huge hit and looked so effortless as well. 2 full from Acharya. Dwayne Smith comes into this tournament. I mentioned it in the first innings. He's done extremely well in Barbados in the local T20 tournament. He's in really good nick at the moment.
Yeah, quality player. 33 international T20 for the West Indies. 91 IPL matches. Ball cut away. That's a good looking shot from Smith. Will only fetch him a single. And a single that brings a Vartak back onto strike. In addition to that, Smith would have played 10 tests. And some 105 won international in maroon colors. So he has had an outstanding career at the international level, having represented the West Indies for many seasons.
And even after that, his West Indies career is still dominating club cricket back in Barbados. Most runs in the local T20 club competition by a long way, 300s, 3 T20 hundreds. So he's raring and ready to go. Big over for them, 12 from it, 18 for none after 2.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtspnews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtspnews.com and stay ahead।
So Mario Laban will continue. First over went for 6, will come into bowl to the attacking Dwayne Smith. Smith is on 12. And one of the earlier times I would have seen Dwayne Smith in the New York City area, Nikel, was probably in 2006 when the West Indies team made a tour to New York to play a couple of 50 over matches against a local US team. And the entire West Indies team came. I'm kind of surprised that all of them showed up for that event. A play and a miss here from Smith. And the ball goes through to Ketwaru, but that squad included Brian Lara, Shivnarine Chandapal, Wavell Hines, Dwayne Smith. I think Corey Collymore was on that trip.
What about 2003? Where were you then, Lenny? 100 on debut, test debut, and 93 balls for Dwayne Smith. Did you miss that one?
Yeah, nowhere in sight. Oh, cut away. Lovely shot from Dwayne Smith. One bounce. In fact, it's gone for 6. So a lovely shot from Dwayne Smith. It's gone for the maximum.
Yeah, this will worry the Cavaliers, because even though they've got that 140 on the board, to see Dwayne Smith come off and begin an innings like this, asking for trouble at the moment. It's going to be signals 4 now. Called it right. You still got good eyes, even though you're 1 up this year.
So Dwayne Smith gets a much needed boundary here for the Mavericks. And this one chopped into the offside. Mario with a good comeback delivery. So good crowd watching this proceedings here, watching this game. And later on when we pan across the ground, we'll see how beautiful the outfield has been adorned with markings, and certainly things that will determine the boundary. Comes down the track. Good bowling here from Mario Laban. Smith comes down the track, charges the bowler, but doesn't get any hold of that.
Yeah, not too concerned by the pace, Dwayne Smith, because he's coming down asking for more. I think he actually wants the pace. He'll relish having pace on the ball because less effort needed from him. Just needs to get some bat on it, as he's shown with the boundary previously in the over. Once he gets bat on it, he'll fly to the boundary.
So this over's gone for 4 so far. 3 dot balls in this over. Laban runs into ball to Smith. And Smith is stroking this one up. Good bit of effort there from the man at cover. Restricting the batsman to only a single and brings Vartak into strike. This has been a good over from Mario Laban, Nikhil.
Yeah, just the boundaries kept Dwayne Smith pretty quiet. 3 dot balls to him, the boundary, but also just a single. So want to come out of this over unscathed, and they'll be happy with this if they can keep it to just 7 or 8 runs off the over.
Still asking almost 10 and over. Vartak, the man on strike. Oh, he gets a shortish ball, doesn't do much with it, and Katwaru does well to keep the ball in play. So 3 overs gone. Needing just under 10 runs and over. They're batting at 23 without loss.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtspnews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtspnews.com and stay ahead।
So Manoj Acharya will continue. First over went for 8. Mavericks still requires almost 10 runs and over. Smith and Vartak has given them somewhat of a start, 23 on the board.
I think Ryan Scott will know very well that if he can get this wicket of Dwayne Smith, he'll be well on the way to victory. That, to me, is the key. Yes, they do have other options, but because of the manner in which Smith strikes the ball, you needed one of those innings like we saw from Ryan Scott if you're to get over the line.
So Vartak comes into strike. He has used up, what, 6 balls so far? Hasn't really troubled the scorers a lot of times. In fact, only a couple of runs. So he'll need to get going. He punches one into the offside, running up towards the boundary. And it goes away for 4, so good shot from Vartak. Finally, it's 28 without loss.
Yeah, getting on the act. And good awareness, given that you've only allowed 2 outside the circle, third man on the boundary. Which meant that once he got bat on ball, enough on it to take it into the boundary. That outfield slowly drying out. It's become a bit tad quicker.
So runs coming by ones. We saw the odd boundary in the over. Manoj Acharya, we saw in the previous over, was flicked away nicely by Dwayne Smith for a boundary. Now the big man, Dwayne Smith, he's expected to give them a very, very good start if they are to overhaul. Score posted by Penn Cavaliers. Oh, smashes one high in the air. Who wants it? Laban gets closest to it, and a chance of a run out in the end. Not one of the better throws. Everyone was focusing on the catch. In the end, all that for 1 run.
How costly could that be? How costly could that be? Yes, he didn't get to it in the end. He just had a long look at it before he actually took off the ball, and that's Dwayne Smith. That's a big wicket. Big chance going to begging.
Yeah, it might have been, come to think of it, when we see the position of everyone going back to the respective position, probably might have been a bowler's catch. At a point of impact, Manoj Acharya might have been the closest man for that, but I thought one of the other fielders may have called for it. 30 without loss. Vartak comes back into strike, and here's Manoj Acharya. Big thud onto the pad. Good bowling here from Manoj. So far, 7 runs in this over.
Yeah, well bowled into the pads, but has to be careful, because if he strays with that line down the leg side, Fine leg up in the circle would be easy for Vartak, who hasn't really gotten in on the act of scoring, but has shown he's capable, has shown us glimpses thus far.
So ball tugged into the onside. Not much power, and certainly not elevation at all. So that will complete over number 4. 4 gone, 31 without loss. They still need 10 runs and over.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtspnews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtspnews.com and stay ahead।
So the CBTF USPL first edition, if you're now joining us for the first time today, we would have missed some blockbuster action. Match number 1 was won by the Florida Sharks pretty convincingly by 9 wickets. And this one could go either way. The Mavericks up against the Cavaliers.
Yes, Nikhil, and this is phase 1 of the USPL championship. Of course, phase 2, we'll talk about that during the course of the remaining days. But for now, you're watching Malik Awan has been given the ball. And he comes in here with Maryland Mavericks batting at 31 without loss, going at 7.7. Oh, into the offside, give him Acharya a chance, accepted, and that's the end of Vartak. So Vartak goes finally 31 for 1.
Well, something had to give. That asking rate just inching up more and more as by the over. And in the end, not getting enough elevation, enough height on it. Manoj Acharya makes no mistake at long off. Big wicket for the Mavericks, sorry, the Cavaliers in terms of pegging back this team. So first wicket goes down at 31, but the main thing, Dwayne Smith still there. Raymond Ramrattan comes to the middle. Ramrattan obviously would have played for that Stallions team that went to the finals of the minor league. Mentioned the 19 catches he took, the most in the minor league. Contributed with the bat in hand as well as mainly with the ball. So did everything for that Stallions team last year. Was a big part of their success.
So that's the Maryland Maverick lineup. We've seen quite a few in action already. As we see also a change of bat here for Dwayne Smith, and that's so Raymond Ramrattan comes to the middle, will be off strike as Smith would have crossed during the course of the dismissal of Vartak. And so Awan has picked up 1. He runs into bowl to Dwayne Smith. Oh, slashed away over the offside. And look at that, it's gone all the way.
I may have struck a car in the process as well. That's the carnage caused by Dwayne Smith. Look at it on replay again. Yeah, just hitting the side of that car. Excellent camera work to get that.
So that one has gone for 6. Dwayne Smith. It goes up to 25.
Some response after a wicket. Wicket just falling in the over. Next delivery, Dwayne Smith doesn't care, slaps it over cover. It's what's needed in this situation. Keeping that run rate required controllable at this point. You just wonder though, when they lost that wicket of Ryan Scott in the last 5, they were headed for way more than 150. They only got to 141. How crucial would that be in the grand scheme of things?
So bowled him. Dwayne Smith taken out by Malik Awan. And how elated he is to have taken the wicket here of a former West Indies international. Take a look at that.
That's exhibition. That is an exhibition of seam bowling. Dwayne Smith knew it. It was a great delivery, seamed away from the right-hander. Hit the top of off. And look at where the stumps ends up. Is that the game? Wicket 6 and another one. What a wicket. What a turn of events for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, a couple of big strikes in this over. for Malik Awan. He took out Vartak, and just 2 balls later, we saw a lovely shot from Dwayne Smith for 6. But finally, Awan gets the last laugh on a quality delivery that really took apart Dwayne Smith and took the off stump out, 37 for 2.
Yeah, the off stump flew. Is just a bit of extra venom on the ball from Sohail.
So Mahesh Kisarkar comes to the middle, and he joins Raymond Ramratan with the Mavericks requiring 105 from 63. 8 wickets standing, couple of strikes in this over. And this has been a quality one from Malik Sohail Awan. Any bowler on this team who would have taken out Dwayne Smith would have had to be a very important strike. And you get the feeling that Penn Cavaliers would want to think that this game could play a lot easier than it was when Smith was in the middle. So the likes of Mahesh Kisarkar and Raymond Ramratan and the others to come. Take a look at that. That's the boys' pavilion. So in a very pensive mood, having lost a couple of wickets all in this over.
Yeah, big work to be done outside of this power play. The umpires, I think the stump was hit so hard that something's gone wrong. They haven't been able to fit that bail onto it.
Yeah, some misalignment. And it's ironic, we were examining the stumps at the start of play. And the umpires were saying that they look very sturdy and firm. A couple hours later, we're beginning to see that it probably might have been knocked out of the line, or the bail is not getting to fixed anymore. But I think we are all set, ready for play. Mahesh Kisarkar is the man on strike.
And with that wicket of Dwayne Smith, 2 brand new batsmen at the crease. So they've done the perfect thing. The Cavaliers just be patient and take the opportunity. But that was some brilliance produced by Awan to get that wicket. And Dwayne Smith knew it as well. Nodded his head in acceptance. Sometimes you just have to give it to the bowler. One of those unplayable deliveries.
Yeah, it really would have taken a big ball to get rid of a batsman of the caliber of Dwayne Smith. And certainly, the Penn Cavaliers have done that. They're enjoying a very good day in the park. Posted 142, led by Ryan Scott, 77. And we also saw a very good knock from Stephen Ketwaru, the keeper. And with asking 10 runs and over, it was always going to be difficult for any team. And you look at the scorecard here, 39 for 2. And then you'll understand why they could be in the driver's seat for the time being. Still a long way to go, 103, over 100 runs to score from 61 balls. And you're watching the USPL opening day. Certainly we have seen 2 entertaining games so far. 1.5 perhaps. Ball flicked away. That's a good looking shot here from Kisarkar. Will come back for 2. The throw comes in. Not a good one to Stephen Ketwaru. In the end, a couple of runs. And so 5 overs gone, 41 for 2.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtspnews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो।
Danish Patel, for the first time today, will come into the attack. And we'll want to continue the good work done by Awan, who took 2 wickets in that over. Have to continue to peg away, even though, yes, without the likes of Dwayne Smith, you expect to be increasingly difficult for the Cavaliers or the Mavericks to get home from here. Leg spin into the attack. I just wonder how long before Raymond Ramratan has to take risks. That required rate over 10 and over now.
So 100 needed from 59 balls. Mahesh comes into strike. They're batting a 42 for 2. A couple of good balls there from Danish Patel. He joins the likes of Acharya, Laban and Awan, who got a double strike in his first over. Oh, that's a good looking shot from Mahesh Kesarkar, and it's gone way over extra cover, and that's gone for a maximum.
Into the trees. How often have we seen this today though? In day one of this tournament, every time the batters have come down the track to create the length, they've been able to hit that ball over long off with ease.
Yeah, good strike from Mahesh. We saw Goranshu Sharma, some classic shot in that direction. So the fight is on, and the fact is, Nikhil, the Mavericks cannot allow some dry spells to go on. You look at the asking rate, it's a solid 10 runs and over. They will have to come up with plans to take that down.
Came down the track, but seemed to get back in time. Kesarkar, sorry.
Yeah, Stephen Ketwaru is one of the better keepers in the Caribbean still. And quickly asking a question to umpire Irfan, standing at square leg.
Yeah, Patel's got to ensure though he can keep this to anything but a boundary. 7 runs off the over when your team needs 10s is a big success. Have to close it out well.
So again, ball outside the off stump. This has been a good comeback over for Danish Patel. So 6 gone, it's 48 for 2. They required 94 to win from 54 balls.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtspnews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtspnews.com and stay ahead।
So Sohail Awan will continue. And will come into bowl to Raymond Ramratan. Ramratan he's only on 2. Driving along the ground, no elevation, will only get a single and single. Nikhil, we know, may not hurt the Penn Cavaliers, still requiring over 10 runs and over now.
Yeah, Awan though, what an over that last. His first over and the last in terms of the power play. To take 2 wickets, one, the crucial one of Dwayne Smith. Changed the entire game. Malik Sohail Awan.
Yeah, Nikhil, and we'll probably look back and essentially at this point can say probably ball of the tournament from Malik Sohail Awan. So the Mavericks on course of their first milestone. They're up to 49. And this one is struck in the vicinity of the come box. Evasive action taken by Nikel and company. And this one is gone. It's gone for a maximum of 55 on the board.
Well, we're in the danger area square. You can see right of your screen, Lenny. That was trouble. The pull from Kisarkar. Powerful striker of the cricket ball.
Yeah, thousands of dollars in the camera equipment, certainly at risk.
Good adjustment from Awan in terms of the length. A lot fuller. He's very strong of the square of the wicket. Mahesh Kusarkar.
So still asking over 10 runs and over. They will have to get going quickly with 51 balls still to be bowled. Oh, the stumps has been rattled, and that's the end of Mahesh Kisarkar. He goes for 15. And look at that, Awan among the wickets again. He has now picked up his third wicket, 55 for 3.
Well, look how hard he hits the stump. Second time he's been able to pluck the off stump out of the ground and sent it cartwheeling. This has been truly a spectacle to watch from the seamer. First Dwayne Smith, now the dangerous Kisarkar. Single-handedly taking his team to victory. Malik Awan, have a look at this. Just flying back the off stump.
So another wicket falls here for the Mavericks. And they're struggling here, batting at 55 for 3. Still 87 to win from 50 ball, asking 10.4 and over. As a new man comes to the middle with the news, Awan is now bowling at 3 for 17. Very impressive spell. One of the wicket that would have included the likes of Dwayne Smith. As Jesse Singh has come out to the middle. And Jesse Singh, by all accounts, Nikhil perhaps has gotten a promotion, comes in at number 5. And they're realizing, well, they'll have to get some of their big hitters out. And Jesse certainly at this level can give the ball a tap.
Yeah, he's someone that usually bats at around number 10 for the USA. So I think he'll relish this opportunity to come up the order for his team. Can strike it. I've seen him strike a couple small cameos for the USA at the international level.
So 49 balls still to be bowled. 87 is the target more. And essentially they're asking 10.6. So the required run rate has always been a solid 10 and upwards. Singh gets off the mark with 1, running quickly. Could be charging for 2. They will. Labon gets onto the ball. Always was going to be a couple of runs. And so that completes over number 7. And after 7, it's 57 for 3.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtspnews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtspnews.com and stay ahead।
So Danish Patel, his first over went for 7. He's been given a second over with an asking rate, asking 10.6. They're going at 8.1. So big appeal. That's the end of Raymond Ramratan. Ball that was quicker through the air, trying to cut through the offside. Got an edge. Ketwaru and the others came up Umpire Ron McFarlane raises the finger. And so another wicket goes down. This time Raymond Ramratan is gone. He is 57 for 4.
And that's what pressure does. That's what happens when you have runs on the board. You take wickets. You break into that top order. And all of a sudden, just becomes too big of an ask for those in the middle. Looking to go for the big shot. Had to, Raymond Ramratan. And in the end, getting the better of his man, Patel. 57 for 4. The capitulation. We saw it in the first game from the Titans. And we're seeing it again.
So Katwaru gets his first dismissal. He's a quality keeper. And Nikhil, all good teams or all excellent teams requires a sharp keeper. Katwaru fills that role. And so 57 for 4. The Mavericks all over. Penn Cavaliers all over the Mavericks, sorry. As we await number 99 comes to the middle, and so the captain Kunal Baride comes to the middle. And he comes in here with 85 to win from 47 balls. Run rate inching towards the 11 per runs over mark. And when you look at what has happened here, we saw a triple strike from Sohail Awan. And we've seen a wicket from Danish Patel. Is really pushing the progress of the Maryland Mavericks all the way back.
Full toss. Miscue from the leg spinner. Do see those sometimes from leg spinners. Very hard to control.
Yeah, should have done a little bit more with that, Kunal. In 15 overs cricket, not only the bad balls you've got to punish, but you've got to make use of some of the good ones. You don't have too much time, and certainly not many deliveries remaining. This has been a very good over here from Danish Patel. Only one off the over. An over in which you would have picked up the wicket of Ram Ratan. So quality bowling here from Danish Patel.
Yeah, when he does spot them, he has been a handful to deal with from these batters. Just 1 run and a wicket in this over. Can he close it out well, though? That's the key.
And now the required run rate is heading towards 12 runs and over. Oh, faster delivery with some bit of bounce. They'll get one.
No ball signal by the umpire as well, so it will mean a free hit. Interesting, very interesting. Think here from this position, though. 6 wickets in hand, but a lot of the top order removed. It's going to be very tough to win from this position.
Yeah, asking rate 11.4. With already 4 wickets sitting back in the hut. So essentially your entire top order is back in the shade. And so the likes of Kunal Baride and Jesse Singh will have to come up with a plan here to score 12 runs in the next 7 overs or so. Massive strike straight up to the man. Mario Labon takes a catch, free hit ball.
Yeah, it was a free hit, so catch doesn't mean too much.
So 8 overs gone, 6-1 for 4. And at this same stage, Nikhil, Penn Cavaliers was always 10 runs per over into the game. So after 8, there were some 80 runs. In reply, 61 for 4 here.
61 for 4 after 8 overs. The Maryland Mavericks looking to chase 142. Both these teams searching for their first win in this tournament. That was after brilliance from Ryan Scott, top scorer of this match so far. 76 in the first innings. Really set the Sunny Purchase ground on fire, even on a cold day. Truly a tremendous knock. Got some action coming tomorrow. Lenny, what do we have?
Well, the New York Gothams will begin their campaign against the Carolina Eagles, teams we haven't seen today. And then, of course, Texas Cowboys will come up against Maryland Mavericks. But I want to think, and I've been hearing, but we'll confirm some other stuff, that the first game today, Texas Cowboys and Washington Hawks game could be slipped in tomorrow morning, but we'll wait on confirmation on that from the competitions committee. But for now, you're watching Maryland Mavericks and Penn Cavaliers. Tomorrow, we'll see for the first time New York Gothams and Carolina Eagles, and of course the Texas Cowboys will be in action tomorrow. So by tomorrow midday, I'm pretty sure that we will have seen all 8 teams on display.
Well, loud appeal on the back foot. Jesse Singh's got to go. And the umpire sent him straight away. The pace continuing to work. Pretty much dead. Just wonder, was that impact outside the off stump? We're not directly behind, but it looked pretty adjacent from here. Low. Kept pretty low on Jesse Singh. Umpire sent him.
So Jesse Singh has gone 62 for 5. And Maryland Maverick, they're struggling here. Still 80 to win from 40 balls. We've already seen points from the Florida Sharks. Already points on the board. And it appears at the end of today's play, Penn Cavaliers and Florida Sharks could be the team sleeping well, knowing that they started their camping on a positive side and with points on the table. So 62 for 5, 80 to win from 40 balls.
Yeah, really seeming like a steep mountain to climb for the Maryland Mavericks. Started well with Dwayne Smith and Vaibhav Vartak, but as soon as they lost those 2 wickets in quick succession, it was always going to be tough with such a big total on the board. Still some 80 runs left for victory. Have to literally score at 2 runs a ball from here on. Always tough with your low order at the crease. What about Malik Awan though? 4 wickets for him on the day, including the big scalp of Dwayne Smith.
Yeah, brilliant ball to take out Smith. Kapil Khanna, the wicketkeeper, comes to the middle. And Awan, very impressive bowling spell so far. We're still, well, in fact, he will finish up here in another 3 balls, but he certainly has broken the back of the Maryland Mavericks. And those are some of the no-name entity and certainly the players in this tournament, Nikhil. And these are players that could venture up, step up to the next level. You never know. Remember the name. Oh, good looking strike here from Kapil Khanna. Has that gone all the way? Irfan, the umpire, is double checking. Yes, it has. And that's a good strike from the keeper.
But you never know. 2 runs a ball, when you hit 6s, it becomes pretty easy. A lot more of that needed. What a strike that was though. Over extra cover, never an easy stroke to play. Had those in the Mavericks dugout scurrying for cover.
Yeah, that's a lovely shot. He went a little bit flattish too. We've seen some really good strike over the offside, certainly led by Garanshu Sharma. And we also saw a couple from Stephen Katwaru. But this one probably one of the better ones from Kapil Khanna.
Hasn't done too much wrong today, Malik Awan. So to see someone hit a maximum off of him was been a brilliant spell of bowling.
Well, he has 1 ball to complete his 3 overs allotment. So far, 4 for 26. Can't complain with figures like that in any form of cricket. So ball pulled away. Good looking shot from Kapil Khanna. And so his bowling figures will take a little bit of beating towards the end. But a lovely shot from Kapil Khanna. 72 for 5. Awan finishes up with 4 for 30. But at the beginning of this over, it was a lot more respectable, Nikhil.
The wheels just falling off towards the end of his spell. 11 runs coming from the over. A big one for the Mavericks. Can they turn the tide in some way?
So play will continue tomorrow, second day in this tournament, the USPL 2022 edition. And of course, sponsored by CBTF, fastest cricket news in the world. And the action will be quite rapid tomorrow, I'm pretty sure, as we've seen a good brand, a good level of cricket today. And tomorrow, of course, with no rain in sight, one is expected that the action even tomorrow will be intensified, as Danish Patel, who's had a good spell so far.
Yeah, Patel, the leg spinner, has been pretty effective when he's been consistent. If he can get a few more right, develop a rhythm in the tournament, excited to see what he can produce. Very tall leg spinner.
And Nikhil, when you look at Danish Patel, he has a very quick, fast delivery. We saw a couple he has bowled during the course of this spell. It goes through extremely quickly, and as a leg spinner, it all bodes well for his bowling. If a batsman is to take him on, let's say playing a slog shot, you'll be playing against the spin. That's a loopy one. Should have done a little bit more with that one, Kapil Khanna. Considering we've seen a 6 and a 4 in the last over off his bat, he only picks up 1.
But he's varying his pace well. Patel, which is just keeping the batsmen on their toes, not knowing what you can expect.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of full tosses going for only a single. Well, they come back for a couple of runs, but those full tosses will have to go for runs if they are to do some catching up. And in these small group tournaments, it's not so much the win and loss, but sometimes you've got to preserve a healthy net run rate just in case you find yourself tying up with a team ready to advance out of your group. So every run, every wicket is still very crucial here. Big swing and a miss. Ketwaruas. Square leg says no. And another quality ball from Danish Patel.
He was very excited about that, Stephen Cotterill, lightning quick. But in the end, that back leg just staying down enough.
So 4 runs in this over, another quality one from Danish Patel. 9.5 overs in the book so far. And that's the faster one, hammered into the offside, but they won't mind. Singles and twos may not hurt them too much. 10 overs gone. 77 for 5.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
So Shaw will come into the attack for the first time. Bringing in the changes. A lot of spin. We've seen a lot of spin today, Lenny, across the two games.
So Shaw starts pretty well. Yeah, we saw Raj Bafsar Malay Singh. Some of the other bowlers from the previous game. Saw Raymond Ramratan in this game. Smashed down the ground, beats the two men running across, long off and long on. A very safe place to play a cricket ball. And he goes away for 4. So some late inning surge here from the captain Kunal Baraide and Kapil Khanna.
Just wonder though, is it a bit too late for the heroics? We'll have to wait and see. Still 4 overs after this remaining. They have time. A small ground, anything can happen. Run out chance. Throw was just a bit wayward. In the end, allowing them to get through for the quick single. The intent is right between these two. Partnership worth 20 now for this 5th wicket.
So Kapil Khanna, very aggressive player. But he will have to get a lot more runs here. Still 60 to win from 27, asking 13 runs and over at least. Oh, into the offside. That's a well-placed shot, wide of mid-off. Fielder does well to keep the ball in play, saving a boundary, save a couple of runs. Appears to be Manoj Acharya. And so 2 more runs there for the Mavericks. They still need 58 from 26. So playing a miss, and we'll take the opportunity to tell you what's going to happen tomorrow now that we have got clearance that the schedule will continue the way it was. So tomorrow, New York Gothams will take on the Carolina Eagles. Game starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. Ball cut away over the infield and running up to the backward point boundary. And has gone away for 4. So good shot in the end of that over. 11 gone, 88 for 5.
जिंदगी में जीत उसी की होती है जिसके पास स्पीड होती है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So coming towards end of day 1 of this USPL. 4 overs remaining in the day. More spin into the attack.
So 54 to win from 24 balls. Kunal Baride, the captain, will be the man on strike. Kapil Khanna is at the opposite end. And Preet Shaw, another Shaw, comes into the bowling attack. So Preet Shaw has been given the ball, another spinner it appears. Not timed well. A very hollow song from the bat.
Yeah, again, trying to use his feet. A lot of bowling options on display. Will be tough though, even though these two have established this partnership. Still need to go at over 13 runs and over. One tight over here could be the game. Of course, sorry, in a short tournament with just 3 games in the group stages, every win's so important.
Short and smashed over square leg. Hit the building. And that has gone for a maximum, a USPL maximum.
We were saying a tight over. That's not the way to go, just too short. And even though, yes, the square boundaries are bigger than the straights. At the end of the day, not big enough for Kapil Kana.
Yeah, both Kapil Kana and Kunal Baride. Oh, look at that. He comes down the track, a more commanding one into the parking lot this time. In fact, the trees would have prevented that ball to going into the parking lot. And that's a big strike from Kapil Kana. He's gone for 6.
Well, what a cameo this is from Kana. 31 from 10 deliveries. Just wondered maybe he could have come in a bit earlier, given the way he struck the ball. Taking the attack. They've got the required 13 from the first 2 deliveries. All of a sudden, that asking rate has come down to 11. Could he be the hero for this team?
So, cuts this one into the offside. And now turns the strike over to Kunal Baride.
Two deliveries remaining in the 12th over. 38 still required for victory.
So not getting the power. We have seen quite a few shots here from Kunal Baride. And we saw a couple of full tosses in the previous over that was not dispatched. And so 37 to win from 18 balls.
Can't afford to underestimate any batsman in this tournament because of these small boundaries. Could be anyone's day. They could turn this game. 37 needed from 3.1 overs. Still on. You expect a team to score around 10 and over. They've still got 5 wickets in hand. You never know. Cricket's such a funny game. Glorious uncertainties.
Yes, Nikhil. And you take, for example, a tournament like the IPL. And 36 to win from 18 balls, and we've seen how many times teams have crossed that line. Smashed into the onside. That's a big shot. Mario Labon has taken a stunner. What a catch from Mario Labon. What looked like 6 written all over it. Labon catches the ball, and Kapil Kana is gone.
Well, it's why he's positioned at long on, because of the height. And on what usually would be 6, plucked out of the air by Labon. Didn't impact the game much with the ball in hand, but that could be a game-changing and match-winning moment. Clearly taller than everyone else. Good captaincy by Ryan Scott to place LeBron on the long-on boundary, and it works for his team. 106 for 6 on the 12th over. That could be the game in itself.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtspnews.com यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो विजिट cbtspnews.com and stay ahead
Welcome back to Sunny Purchase. Yeah, that's me on screen, dying from this temperature. But who's standing strong is the Maryland Mavericks. Sorry, no, not the Mavericks. It's the Cavaliers. The Mavericks, at one stage, because of Kapil Kana, 32 from 13, they were in a really strong position. Now it's very tough. In comes a new batsman.
Yes, Nikhil, the partnership between Kunal and Kapil Kana had yielded 44 from just 23 balls and has really given them a spark to overhaul the score. Manoj Acharya has been brought back into the attack. And so a glimmer of hope disappears with Kapil Kana into the hut. And all of a sudden it's beginning to look like a Penn Cavaliers game again. But you never know with 36 to win from 18 balls. Kunal Baride, the man on strike. Sachal Magan is the new batsman in.
Straight up. 2 men come under it. The bowler wants it, calls it, takes it. Acharya's got a safe pair of hands. He's already taken a catch today. He gets this one, holds on well in the end.
Yeah, another wicket goes down. This one, Kunal Baride goes immediately after Kapil Khanna. And so another wicket goes down here for Maryland Mavericks. And all of a sudden, that glimmer of hope we saw in the last over beginning to disappear. As another wicket goes down, it's 106 for 7.
Matthew Comery, the leg spinner, comes to the middle. Has to do it with a bat in hand. Two brand new batters at the crease. How often do we see that in this game of cricket? One wicket falls, brings another. 36 needed now. Still 36 from less than 3 overs. Never an easy task, even on the smallest of grounds.
So Magan will be on strike. Batsman would have crossed. And in some tournaments that we would have been part of, they've already enforced that rule, but not this one. Top edge, it doesn't matter. And it goes, we'll wait and see. Looks like one bounce. Umpire Irfan says it's a 4. And so a bit of a streaky one to that, but it doesn't matter sometimes. It's 110.
Doesn't matter how they come. Need about 4 more of those in this over. Need 3 and over, really. 12 the asking rate of 12.
So 32 to win from 16 balls. You never know. Magan on strike. Here is Manoj Acharya. Going to swing across the line of a delivery. Doesn't go well. Manoj Acharya for a dot ball.
Yeah, Acharya is very skillful. We saw him in the minor league. Seen him around the T20 leagues as well. Big asset to have for this Cavaliers side. And you think as this tournament progresses and they get into tight situations, he will have to do the bulk of the high pressure bowling. Crucial over this.
So I think he's going this year to Cavaliers, Somerset Cavaliers. Today he is representing Pennsylvania Cavaliers, so by next week he'll be playing for the New Jersey Somerset Cavaliers.
What about the Cleveland Cavaliers?
A big swing and a miss here from Magan. And buys a signal from the umpire. And so 14 balls remaining, 31 to get. Matthew Comery comes into the middle. And how difficult is asking a player who has just come to the middle, Nikhil, to score 14 runs and over?
The players are stylish for defensive. I don't know how far that will get them when you need 13 runs and over. Making use of the time though, off the mark straight away, Comery.
Well, a lot more games to be played in the next 3 days. And so time to get your eye in. Matthew Comery might, you never know where he's going to factor in the next game. We saw his bowling didn't go too well, very brief spell, but we're watching Sachal Magan. Oh, that's a quality delivery from Manoj Acharya. That will complete over number 13, so 13 gone. They need 29 in 2 overs. It's 113 for 7.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So Mario Laban comes back for his second spell. First spell went pretty well. 2 overs, no made, none for 11. So he comes in here 29 to win from 12 balls. Sachal Magan will be the man on strike. Matthew Comery at the other end. And Ball tugged into the onside, 28 from 11 balls.
Yeah, singles won't hurt the Pennsylvania Cavaliers too much. They won't mind giving up ones or twos at this stage. Have to score boundaries if the Mavericks are to get home from here. Always a tough task. No more than 15 runs and over needed.
And we saw earlier on the quality bowling of Sohail Awan. Quality delivery here from Mario Laban, but we saw quality bowling from Awan, who picked up 4 for 30. And in fact, as in Awan, his final over, he conceded 12 runs in that final over. So up until that point, he was bowling some 4 for 18 coming into the last over. Very impressive spell from Awan. Yeah, no elevation. A chance of a run out. Ryan Scott misses at blank at short range. And they won't mind. It's only a single. 27 from 9 balls.
Yeah, ones aren't going to work though. Have to find the boundary. Have to find maximums at this stage. They'll be thinking less than 15 for the last over. In with a chance. Good bowling, really good T20 execution from LeBon into the pitch with his pace. Never easy for Lord, a batsman, to hit to the boundary.
So the Mavericks batting lineup didn't really show up today. Dwayne Smith, he got up to 25, but we saw poor and disappointing performance from the likes of Vartak and Raymond Ramratan. Didn't get going at all. Oh, stroked away. That's a lovely shot. Will beat the infield and it goes away for 4. Matthew Comery. That's a quality looking drive over the offside.
But it was a full toss, so it allowed him to just position the ball. Once it beat Ryan Scott, it was 4, even in the slow outfield.
Yeah, 22 to win from 7 balls. 22 to win from 7 balls. It's 120 for 7. Can they come close or even cross the line? Matthew Comery on strike. Laban. Short. On the front foot. Only a single. With a short ball like that, Nikel, probably a back foot. Wait maybe a fraction of a second and play over square leg, but you never know. 121 for 7.
जिंदगी में जीत उसी की होती है जिसके पास स्पीड होती है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
One over remaining. It's going to be spin. Kevin Shaw. Never know. This could go either way. Matthew Comery will back himself. 22 runs to get. 21, sorry, from 6 deliveries.
Not often you see a spinner bowling the last over, Nikel. But they have trusted their everything into Kevin Shaw's hand. Starts well. Single.
Yeah, the one thing he won't want to do, Shaw, is go full. If he goes full, gives the opportunity to hit easily down the ground, which you don't think would be too hard for anyone at this venue.
So Magan on strike. 20 needed off 5. We've got to see some boundaries here. Oh, this one is smashed into the region of Mario Laban. He watches over his shoulder, and that has gone for a maximum.
Well, 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 what do we have here? How crucial could that be? 14 now from 4. Could they be snatching defeat from the jaws of victory?
So Kevin Shaw under pressure, 7 off 2 balls. Smashes into the offside. That's a good delivery. Good. Oh, they come back for 2. They settle for 1. So good result from that delivery. Kevin Shaw 8 in the over so far. 13 from 3.
It seems so simple. Every time he's gone into the pitch, they haven't really scored. When he's gone full, they've easily hit it for 6. Has to just go on a good length, make it tough to hit those maximums. High in the air. Does it have enough? It doesn't. It's going to be taken. LeBron takes it. And you think that with that wicket, the chances may be over for the Mavericks to win this game.
Yeah, excellent judge catch again from Mario LeBon. You can't keep him out of the game. And another wicket goes down here, but the intent was quite positive there from Comrie. But in the end, Kevin Shaw looks like he will defend 13 from two balls, but you never know. If they get 12, we are forced into a super over. Not too sure with the playing condition as regards to a super over being played in the league stages, but we'll have to wait and see. 2 balls, 13 to win, 12 will tie this match as new batter comes to the middle.
$13 needed from 2. Have to hit 2 sixes to have a super over.
So thankfully Magon on strike. The old rule would have seen him off strike. Oh, smashes this one. He goes into the park. Game on still. 7 to win from 1 ball coming up.
Well, start getting the playing conditions out. Have to check on that super over rule. 7 from 1. Would you believe it?
6 will tie the score. And so Danny Khan has run to get the books and just want to make sure that we're well within the playing conditions. A 6 off this ball will tie the game.
1 delivery, 7 needed to win. They have to hit a 6 to be in a chance. Pressure on the spinner. He's got long off, long on. And there it goes. It's 6, super over. Would you believe it?
Unbelievable scenes here at the Purchase College ground. Sashal Magon has tied this game by a last ball 6. And whether or not where we go from here, we'll have to wait for that call. But the games are tied. So the games are tied. And so super over. This match has come down to super over. A big strike from Sashal Magon in the dying stages of this game has pushed this match into a super over. And after 30 overs of cricket, 15 overs per side, it's 142 each for this team. So we'll take a short break and be back with our super over as Maryland Mavericks and Penn Cavaliers. Still no decision after 30 overs.
जिंदगी में जीत उसी की होती है जिसके पास स्पीड होती है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So welcome back to the Super Over. Second game on the first day of the USPL. I will down to all the excitement here in limited overs cricket. This is called a Super Over. Mario Laban has been given the ball. And from what it appears, quite rightly so, Dwayne Smith has come out with Jesse Singh.
Well, I'm surprised that they've gone to Jesse Singh as opposed to Kana, who struck that powerful 31 and got them in to this position. Or even Sachal Magon, who hit the 2 sixes off the last 2 deliveries to get them to this position. Jesse Singh is an interesting call, but he can hit it as we've seen before.
Yeah, Nikhil, you're right on that. Both Kapil Khanna and Sachal Magon. Why would you want to take off the pads of Sachal Magon, who has some bit of momentum striking the last ball out of the park? So Laban has been given what we do know. Laban is a quality bowler, and he will come into bowl to Dwayne Smith. 6 deliveries at stake as we get the signal from the umpires and we're ready for play, Nikhil.
Yeah, where does he bowl in terms of the length to Dwayne Smith? Goes a good length, and he's going to have to hurry. Direct hit. He was gone by a long way. A good result, though, nonetheless.
Yeah, good result for Mario and his boys, Penn Cavaliers. And now the interesting question, was it worth sending Jesse out in the middle? We'll find out right now.
You have to say, though, what a comeback to even get to a super over for the Mavericks. One stage they needed over 15 runs and over, but on a small ground, anything can happen. Big swing and a miss. Singh wanted a wide.
Yeah, you've got to question the tactics here of the Maryland Mavericks. They had options, that in Kapil Khanna and Sachal Magon, but they've gone for Jesse Singh, who has conceded a dot ball. Good bowling here from Mario so far. So big cheers of let's go Mario from the lacrosse crew. The lacrosse junior boys are expected to take to the field at the completion of this game. Are we watching Mario?
Well, he's gone. Jesse Singh Trying to get Dwayne Smith on strike. Doesn't make contact. Kataru hits. Disaster for the Mavericks.
Yeah, Jesse Singh gone, and looks like Kapil Khanna is coming out, so maybe you might want to question the tactics here of the Mavericks. Well, they're committed to the plan here.
जिंदगी में जीत उसी की होती है जिसके पास स्पीड होती है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So Lamont has done well so far. Just to concede a single in the first two deliveries. Can he close out the next three? Straight up. Does it have enough legs on it to go for 4? It goes for 6. What an unorthodox way of hitting the ball. But nonetheless, Kapil Khanna picking right where he left off. Off the middle of the bat. It goes for 6.
Yeah, good strike here from Kapil Khanna. And the Mavericks in this super over. Big crowd watching, the lacrosse crew. And so 6, big crowd watching the super over, all the excitement of what is happening here. Down to the last 2 balls. Mario Laban will come into bowl to Kapil Khanna. Dwayne Smith at the other end.
Stranded. Stranded at the other end, Dwayne Smith. Hasn't seen the strike since he took a single on the first delivery. If Kataru would hit there, would have been gone, and that would have been the end. Obviously, if you lose 2 wickets in a super over. So they really gambled on Kataru's arm. Brave call, but in the end, it works in their favor. He'll face 1 delivery, Dwayne Smith.
Yeah, this one will have to go for a big one to give themselves a chance, bearing in mind they nearly lost the real game. And so this will be a very good comeback. If they should win this game, Ireland Mavericks, it will be some redemption here. Here's the final ball. Oh, no elevation. This is good for Mario. And so that will conclude things here. So what have we got here, Nikhil?
It's going to be 10 needed off the super over. You really would have to back Ryan Scott and his crew. They've done well. Should have really won the game, but nonetheless, you're in a super over situation. To keep that team to just 9 on a small venue, I think you'll feel like you're favorites to win.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है, तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbt अगर आपके पास स्पीड है, तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते, आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead.
So a big cheer of let's go Ryan. And that means Ryan Scott 10 runs to win in 6 balls. Jesse Singh, it appears, Nikhil has been given the ball. And Ryan Scott and Stephen Katwaru comes to the middle.
Yeah, big task for Jesse Singh to defend 10 against Ryan Scott, who blasted 76, and his partner Katwaru at the other end also got 46. These two had a good day with the bat in hand. Can they do it one more time for their team? 10 to win from 6 deliveries.
So Penn Cavaliers played a very good game, play a very good 15-over game. The game certainly might have been snatched from them by Sashal Magan, but it's not over yet.
Look at the support for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers.
Yeah, they loved Mario Laban, and now they're behind with chance of let's go Ryan, and that's Ryan Scott. So they have been the favorite team here by the lacrosse junior boys. And so now we are all set. Jesse Singh will come into both the Ryan Scott. 10 needed from 6 balls. Here we go.
Gonna have to hurry. Wants to, has to go, has to go. Gonna be a chance and doesn't pick up cleanly. He was always against it, Ryan Scott, but in the end, does well to get there for 2. As soon as he hit it, he wanted 2. Katwaru's very quick at the other end.
So 8 to win from 5 balls. Good throw towards the batter's end. But certainly you needed one of those direct or one of those brilliant throws to put Ryan Scott under pressure. That didn't happen. So change of gear here for Ryan Scott, it appears. I may have broken the strap or having a boot change. Yeah, still 5 balls remaining, so Ryan Scott wants to make sure that he has some of the better equipment to go through for the next 5 balls or so.
So it's 8 needed from 5. Interesting time to call for a shoe change after just 1 ball. They don't want the action to end here at the Sunny Purchase ground. Full day of action we've had.
And the format of the short format of the game, Nikhil, has always been a format in which the element of entertainment has always been first and foremost, or at least the intent of the shorter version of the game was to create entertainment and excitement. We've seen our fair share of that, or we are in the midst of a very exciting passage of play here. 8 to win from 5 balls. Ryan Scott and Katwaru out in the middle. They've taken 2 off the very first ball, bowled by Jesse Singh.
अपोनेंट चाहे कितना भी स्ट्रांग हो, स्पीड के आगे घुटने टेक देता है। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ
Very easy, the situation. Don't concede a boundary, you win this super over. It'll be very hard to see them run 5-2s, but to not concede a boundary against Ryan Scott, not going to be an easy task at this Sunny Purchase ground. Gets away with a full toss. Wow, just 1. Interesting.
So a couple of good balls here from Jesse Singh. And I get the feeling that Jesse Singh would prefer bowling to Katwaru. Not that Katwaru is a slouch with the bat. In fact, he got 46, batted well in the previous innings, but you probably want to take your chance against anyone other than Ryan Scott. So 7 to win from 4 balls. They'll need to 10. And I wonder, Nikhil, what happens if they score 9? Another super over?
Boundary count.
So Jesse Singh is he running in longer than the previous game or the previous spell? This is the longest I've seen Jesse Singh run in from. And we'll come into bowl to Katwaru. 7 to win from 4 balls. It all comes down to what is happening here. After 15 overs aside, impossible to separate Maryland Mavericks and Pennsylvania Cavaliers. And we all come down to the last 4 remaining balls. 7 to get. Here we go. Jesse Singh runs into bowl to Katwaru. Big play and a miss. Ball goes straight through to Kapil Khanna. And the drama continues.
And you expect these two who put on so much runs in that first innings. 10 runs in 1 over really would seem like a small task, but it's the pressure of a super over with all at stake. If they were to win this, what a turnout it would be for the Mavericks. 15 runs and over required. They lost Dwayne Smith, struggling, somehow, some way, scraped their way to this super over. 3 balls away. But it just takes 1 hit, 1 boundary, 1 6. This game could be well and over. Can't afford to miss his line and length, Jesse Singh.
So they're going for 1. Will be a bye. They come back. They will not. So in the end, an improvised shot that doesn't go too well. And so that's 4 runs on the board. 6 to win in 2 balls.
But Ryan Scott on strike. It takes you back to the decision, though, by Scott to bowl Kevin Shaw in the last over, the spin. He ran out of seam options, and he conceded 20, which led to the super over.
So the bye signal comes in from umpire Irfan with the news. 6 remaining off 2 balls. 6 remaining off 2 balls. Ryan Scott will be on strike. This over so far has gone for 2, 1 dot and a bye. And Jesse Singh will have to bowl the next couple of balls of his life. Oh, that's a good delivery. And Scott says, wait! Ryan Scott does not run.
He's backing himself to go big. How many 6s did he hit? 5, I think it was, in that 76. Can he find 1 more? That's all that's required. 6 from 1 ball.
8 6s in the last game.
What a spell this has been, though, from Jesse Singh. Just 4 runs conceded in 5 balls on a small venue. Here we go, final delivery. And he hits it out the park. Ryan Scott has done it 1 more time. What a performance from this man. And he just walks off disdainfully. Knew it from the time he struck it. Heartbreak for the Pennsylvania Cavaliers. But what a performance from the Cavaliers to win this one. 6 from 1 ball, Lenny. They've got it done.
So Jesse Singh, a very low full toss. But Ryan Scott backs himself, refusing a run. And set the equation up. Very narrow equation. A very jubilant team. Set it up to last ball going for 6. And Ryan Scott finishes the job in the end. And it's Penn Cavaliers who takes this game into the super over and walks away with points tonight.
Well, that's what the USPL is all about. 6 from the last ball. Couldn't have asked for much better to end day 1. What a game. Super over. Ending with a 6 on the final delivery. Fantastic scenes at the Sunny Purchase ground. Truly amazing.
And Nikhil, it all came down to two of the big names in U.S. domestic cricket, Ryan Scott and Jesse Singh. And it's good to see the pong-for-pong action, Jesse Singh versus Ryan Scott. In the end, Ryan Scott may have won today. But that doesn't devalue the performance, certainly, of Jesse Singh, I'm pretty sure. If you were to have more contests like this, there are times when Jesse Singh will bowl a quality delivery to Ryan Scott, but not today, at least not now. So big win here for the Penn Cavaliers. They were always banging on the door to win the earlier game, but it all comes down to the last 6 balls, and they've carried this one away. Points for them.
Well, he was searching for a Yorker. It's always high risk, high reward. Unfortunately, Singh missed his length, and he went the distance. But 4 runs conceded from the first 5 deliveries is a much improved. Well, not much improved, sorry. It's an extremely good first 5 deliveries, but that's cricket. It only takes 1 delivery, and in the end, the Cavaliers get over the line. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll join Roshni at the post-match presentation. What a game of cricket, what a day of cricket we've had in this CBTF USPL day number 1.
अगर आपके पास स्पीड है तो आपको कोई हरा नहीं सकता। इसलिए अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बनाने से पहले विजिट cbtfspeednews.com। यहाँ आपको मिले मैच प्रीव्यूज, टीम अपडेट्स, स्टेडियम स्टैट्स और बहुत कुछ, ताकि मैच कोई भी जीते आपका प्रेडिक्शन कभी गलत ना हो। विजिट cbtfspeednews.com and stay ahead।
Welcome to the post-match presentation of the CBTF USPL. Joined with me here is Jaydeep Singh, the founder of USPL. Now, what a match we've witnessed. A match that went on to the Super Over, and I want to call Ryan Scott the captain and man of the match for this match. Ryan, what a match it's been for you and the team. I mean, would you imagine going into that match, and especially the way the turn kind of happened in that last over, and then especially going out there with 10 runs to win and hitting that last ball off of a 6?
So, like I told my team, coming into this tournament, we basically are the underdogs. I'm the only one with the international experience, so I had to step up to the table and do the job. But as I told my team, we just got to capitalize on our strengths, and we get the win at the end of the day once we play as a team. And I think we really did that well today.
And the batting, man, the performance you've shown at SUNY Purchase, the first knock, 77, and then just going out there and winning it for your team. I mean, how does it feel?
I feel really overwhelming and kind of great. And at the end of the day, coming into this tournament, I had a plan. I'm on a mission as well, so I'm just using the platform that I get whenever I get a chance to capitalize on it the best way that's possible and help my team.
And what was the reasoning behind having Mario, bowl that Super Over?
We had, like I told you in the beginning, we have that relationship where we understand each other at the crease, and we know the singles, or we know the bowlers and the matchups that we can take with each other. So we try to take advantage of that as much as possible. And I know Jesse because I played with him in the national team, and I know what he's gonna come with. So that's all.
Well, you guys have bagged in that first win at this USPL. What's it looking like going forward?
Well, going forward, I'll just tell my team to remain calm and humble, and whenever we have a game, just try to prepare as best as possible and do our job, take the right areas, and we get the result we always want.
Well, a brilliant performance, Ryan. Thank you so much. So that's it here from the SUNY Purchase Ground here at USPL. Stay tuned.